So we want to answer them. Question number 1. Look, I
Question
printed them out.
number one.
Okay. The question is suggestions for an older retired couple thinking of moving back to Sicily.
Which implies that you lived in Sicily at one point. There's a low battery. I hope that doesn't get too low. We might have to clock in again. But
No, we're still
anyway,
okay.
So an older retired couple, I don't know if I would personally choose Sicily unless I was really,
Well, maybe that's where they're from. They're moving back to Sicily. That's where family is. Maybe.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it might be, I would find it hard, I think, to maybe exist.
If they've been living in America.
Yeah, like it's like a really big change. I feel like you might end up being a little bit frustrated quite often.
I think the advice is, though, that you should go, and I think you go for 3 months. You need to go and stay there for an
That's
extended
good
period of
advice.
time before you move. You need to 3 months minimum actually living there, not being on vacation there, and I think you start from that point and you see if you're enjoying it, you see how difficult it is, you see if you can deal with the challenges or if it's just too frustrating. I also think you need to take into consideration, the tax implications of moving back, so that's something you'd need to think, is it better to live in Sicily for 6 months, in the US for 6 months, or is it better to move back completely? All these things need to be factored into the decision.
And you do get 90 days on a regular
Yeah,
tourist
without having to
visa.
do anything. So
Yeah.
start with 3 months. That's the suggestion. Okay. Where should I get married in Italy? Something super intimate and small. Well, there are
It's
a
a
lot of
lot,
places
yeah.
in
Lots
Italy.
and lots and lots of choices. I think it really depends on time of year.
Yep.
If you want coastal, if you want countryside, I would suggest definitely not countryside in the warmer months.
Yeah.
It's very hot, and I think it'll probably make guests quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, in
But
the summer, you wanna be by the sea, but I think also, I mean, there's so many places in Italy.
so many beautiful places.
I think you need to, like, visit places and see what speaks to you. I think for us, if we were getting married again, it would be, like, maybe in Puttagnano because we have a
Yeah.
connection to the place. So I think you'd need to come and feel where a place that you feel a connection to. Maybe start there because there are so many. Do you wanna do a small town? Do you wanna do a bigger city? Like, there's so many factors.
And if you do them like on season, like if you were to do a wedding in Puglia in, I don't know, June or September, so like it might be pretty expensive. I don't know,
Yeah.
just because
It's the
everybody's
high
probably,
season.
yeah. So you might want to consider the time of year also. But
And where your guests are gonna be primarily coming from and flying into, flights, things like that, you need to factor that in as well. Okay, number 3. Are the boys fluent in Italian? We all are. It was that easy.
um,
Costa is
Costa's doing
getting
really
there.
well. Costa speaks the most and understands the most out of all the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, Paolo and Bruno understand, but not as much as Costa. Costa's,
Costa has the
yeah,
confidence, and he will speak Italian, out in the world. He orders for himself at the restaurant. He'll ask for things. He goes, he can go to the bakery and get what he wants and speak in Italian. So he definitely has the most confidence. The other boys understand things, but they rarely, I feel like they're not really choosing to speak in Italian
not
yet.
yet, but I'm sure they will. I'm sure that'll come. And as far as us,
Andre is doing so well, you guys. He's my
I mean,
Italian
it's pretty
stallion.
messy. It's pretty sloppy, but I get by. I figure
Oh
it
my gosh,
out.
he more than gets by. He's Italian.
I mean, it's sloppy and it's not so great, but we're working on it. We're working through it.
And, I still sound like a valley girl from, Tarzana.
You definitely do.
I do.
Barrett does not
I'm not
understand
blending in
anything.
well.
Very little. Very, very, very little. Um,
It's hard. Okay?
okay.
I'm not gonna lie. What's helped the Italian? Honestly, for me, nothing is helping. I live here. I'm
You know,
hearing it all the
in
time.
all fairness,
It's
like
hard.
we this is basically our 2 month 2 year
Year.
anniversary. Excuse me. It's late. We're very tired.
Uh,
It's our 2 year anniversary this month, and honestly, it really just feels like we're like in the place where maybe we could start to focus on that.
I'm
It's
learning
been
another language.
so crazy just getting the kids
Yes.
dialed in, and granted that they've been good for like a few months now, and definitely I think adjusted, and we've become very well adjusted only a few months ago as well, but it's like now we can kind of wrap our mind around the possibility of
It
like
takes
really
time, guys.
putting some effort into it.
Okay. How long are you planning on staying in Italy? Is your intent to come back to the US or remain there? A lot of people ask this question.
So
So
many.
I think that for now, we are planning on staying here. It's kind of open ended. We have been here 2 years now, and we feel like this is starting to feel like home.
We actually never came with any
Plan.
plan. It was
Yeah.
like an open plan. Let's see where this
Yeah.
goes, how it goes, how long do we think, like, when are we going to start to miss America?
So right now we are here. The boys are loving it. I mean, they asked if they can stay. They like really they wanted to make sure they could go back to the school that they're going to next year. So they're really happy. They're thriving. And we are finally feeling like this is feeling like the place we live.
the kids are super happy here.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really enjoying being here in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. And even when like sometimes they get frustrated, not really Bruno, but like Paolo Costa might get frustrated a little bit and they're like, I miss LA. But
So they
ge-
miss In and Out
yeah,
Burger.
they miss those kinds of things. They miss like sushi, really
Yeah.
good sushi, or like In and Out, or
Or
like,
Joe's Pizza.
yeah, they really miss the Joe's slice. Um,
Okay. Do you think any of your boys will move back when they are older? I think one of the reasons why we did this is so that they have different options and different possibilities. So, who knows?
and also, I mean, if we do end up staying here, like we have always envisioned eventually maybe retiring here. And so we also like wanted to utilize this experience as creating a connection for the kids to the
Mhm.
country, to like our joint experience in the country. And so that if we did stay and they
They would
did
want to visit
decide to
us.
leave, they would want to come back. They'd want to visit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Who knows? And I don't even know if college is going to be a thing by then. But
Robots will be
I
running the world.
definitely do think that college in Europe, though maybe not as prestigious in many ways, is much more affordable, and I think it's quite international, and I'm sure it would be just fine because I don't even think it necessarily
It
makes
depends on what
same
they
amount
want
of
to
difference
do,
depending on what they
honestly.
want
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
Okay. Was the move harder or easier on any of the kids? Curious about the age of the kids and the impact. Well, Bruno, he has no idea where he is. He doesn't probably doesn't remember anything about
He
LA.
definitely does not.
So it was pretty easy for him. Um, I think that Costa had when we first moved and he first started the new school when we were in Turin, he had probably a few weeks to a month of a lot of anxiety. He was having a hard time, with this idea of having to, like, eat the lunch that they had there. There were, like, a few things that he was wrestling with and having stomach aches and the nurse going to the nurse and having to have us come get him and, some anxiety issues. But that passed, and, since then, it's been really, good for him, and he seems to be adapting very well. And also Paolo had some separation anxiety when we remember
Yeah.
when we were in Turin and drop-offs were very hard for him in the morning. And it kind of almost took the whole year
Yeah.
to get to a place
It
where
was a
he could actually
long,
say bye. But this year's been a bit better. So,
a bit better this year. Like I'll like try to walk Paolo
no,
to
but
his
yeah,
to
yeah.
his like class
They're like,
group or whatever.
bye.
He's like, no, 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 Dad, no, we're
They're
good.
too cool now. They don't
It's
want to hang
crazy. I don't
out.
know how it happened so fast.
I don't know why. We're
Um,
fine. We're fun
always trying to
people.
kiss him goodbye. They're like, no, no, no.
Okay. Um, Someone asked about the cost of living. I think it's a really hard question because
So broad.
there are so many factors. Where are you living? Are you in a tiny town
Are you going to
somewhere?
private school or
Are you going to
international
public
school?
school?
Are you
Like,
going to public school? And by the way, there is like a difference between private and international and
and
public.
public.
So are you, where, what kind of food are you eating? Where are you shopping? Where are you living? Or like
There's
so
too
many
many
things,
variables,
so many things.
so I can't answer
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
really
Do you have
tough.
private insurance? Do you not have like, there's just too many things.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you navigate schools without speaking the language? Well, we go to an international school. The school is taught in English. They take Italian every day, but we are able to communicate with the school very easily because it's in English and the people that teach there and run the school speak English.
Though it is very Italian in
Yes.
many ways. So
But we did look into there was a time when we were moving to Rome where we thought maybe we'll send the kids to Italian school. And even just trying to figure out how to apply to
no way.
Italian school told me that it would be very difficult for us as parents that do not speak Italian to even figure out like how to
I've been trying
deal
to
with
sign
anything at the school.
I've been trying to sign up Coast and Paolo to an after school soccer club, which is like 3 days a week.
For like
I can't
2
even
months.
tell you how challenging trying to just get these kids signed up for this thing. Like
Yeah,
everything is such a process and so many
it's
steps.
complicated.
And you got to talk to this person, that person, then try to call the secretary. And oh, you want to pay by
Nothing's
credit card? You got
online.
to make an appointment to go in to pay by credit card. Yeah, unless you want to do the bank transfer. Like it's just so many things are so wacky. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to struggle with that. Okay. What are some things you miss about living in the US? What is something you miss the most? I mean, we've gone through this in
Yeah.
the on the site many times.
But I'll tell you what I do miss right now
What?
today is sushi. I'm
Yes.
dying for
And
some great
Mexican
sushi.
food.
Dying for some great sushi. Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
it's
I
uh
really miss
you
sushi.
do not get good sushi in Rome. You can get some
No.
some pretty good sushi in Milan, and there is a few places that are actually like quite good. They're not LA good, but they are quite good. But not in Rome.
Yeah. Um, okay. What's the hardest part of the language barrier? Probably our humor and sarcasm.
Sometimes it does get lost.
I think it gets lost a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can't be as funny
You gotta
as
walk
maybe
back
you
some
think you
jokes, and then you
are.
gotta, like, almost pretend like you were asking a question that was misunderstood, and yeah,
So maybe you can't be as funny as you wanna be. Is it hard to keep in touch with family and friends in the US with the big time
we
difference?
also covered this a lot too, but
Yeah.
yes, it's a little bit challenging,
It is.
definitely.
I mean, I definitely, I used to talk to my mom like every single day. Now I talk to her maybe twice a week. I mean, you still talk to your parents almost every day, but I think that, yeah, the time difference is hard because by the time you can talk to anyone or they call you, you're getting the kids ready for bed, you're dealing with dinner, it's nighttime here, and then, it's 11:46 and you're exhausted.
We're
You're
already
doing a
cross-eyed.
Substack live.
Yeah. Late night live.
Late night live. Okay. What would be the reason to stay forever? I mean, if you're happy somewhere, you stay. If you don't feel like you need like to leave again.
There's a
So
lot of really great things about
yeah,
living here, which we actually are covering in this week's newsletter. The
yeah.
whole month, in fact, is dedicated to kind of some of the harder questions,
Reflecting on
and reflecting on those questions, about our 2 year anniversary here.
yeah.
And, there's a lot of reasons to actually stay. So we'll
We'll
see how
see.
it goes.
Have you found your community and friends? This, I would say yes. I think we've been very, very lucky. We have found a lot of incredible families and friends, not only at just the international school, but also just people that we've met being here, whether it's the friends we've made at the bakery or the coffee shop, or, someone came and picked up a piece of furniture and then we started talking. We spent an hour talking and then we became friends with the couple. So
Some fun Spaniards.
yeah, we're just always, making friends.
Yeah. No, it's actually been great. We've been quite
Yeah.
fortunate. I mean, and you also will find that, and they're stereotypes, but they're also like very real. In the north, things are a little bit more, reserved and pulled back. Things are definitely like warmer here in Rome, and people are a little bit more open and jovial and things
Mhm.
like this. So it has been we've met great people
Yeah,
in
in both
in both
places, yeah.
places, but like yes, I'd say we've really started to like settle into finding some great friends and good community, and it keeps growing. We keep
Yeah.
meeting more great people.
I think also you have to do the work to make those friendships and be open and outgoing, and Andre's very, very good at this. He can talk to
I mean, I guess
anyone.
I am. I don't know.
You are. You always are making friends, you're
I
starting
like to
conversation,
talk to
and you
people.
do, but you have a gift for talking to people, and I think that that is a part of it. Like, if you come here and you're not, willing to put yourself out there and kind of be open to that, it's gonna be difficult. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you have to kind of put energy into that, I think is important to build that community and have those
There
friendships.
there is kind of like reputation that Americans seem to have where I
Meant for
mean,
many things.
yeah, for many things. But we've like at the school, I remember when we had this like at the beginning of the year when it was like an introductory thing for all the new parents to meet like other parents. I met these two moms and they're really cool. One of them was actually from LA, but the other one was from the Netherlands, I believe. And she was like, "Are you? Which kind of Americans are you? Are you like the just for fun Americans, or are you here like working for the embassy or something?" We were like, "We're
Or
the
the just
just for
for
fun
fun.
Americans." And there is definitely like this belief that
Yeah.
Americans are like nice and open and fun
And
and like
smiley,
upbeat and
and yeah,
smart. Yeah.
I
So
guess we are. I don't know.
yeah. Anyway,
Okay, and then, last one, someone who is British and is desperate to live in Italy, what advice do we have for them? I think for anyone who wants to come here and figure out a way to live here, you need to start by talking to, an immigration lawyer. I think
yeah,
they'll be
and a
able to
good one.
a good
It's
one,
so
yeah.
important because there's so many jokers out there.
I think they will be able to lay out all the avenues and possibilities for you and let you know if it looks like it is a reality or if it's not. So,
But I mean, do not quote me on this, but I feel like I've
I
heard
know.
that there's some good headway being made between the UK and the EU to kind of
Oh, really?
repair some of the things that have occurred because of Brexit.
Okay. So
I
maybe.
guess you guys are in the UK are um, there's a lot going on there with like job issues and people not being able to work in the EU anymore and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of
Mhm.
created a lot of frustration for young people and traveling. And so I think that I had heard that there was like some sort of momentum happening in the right direction to kind of like repair some things,
Okay.
not necessarily join the EU again, but some sort of agreement where it allows more flexibility.
And also things are constantly changing in Italy and rules are changing. So I think it's you start with a lawyer, they can tell you what the current rules are and possibilities are. And then, who knows, some things might change. That's it for now, guys.
Yeah, that was our
We
late
did
night
our
live.
homework.
That was our late night live.
Late night live.
Um,
Thanks for joining us.
yeah, thanks
This is
guys. All
nice
you
to
guys
do
who
it
came
later
on
because
in.
then we have all the friends on.
Yeah. It was hard to pay attention to who's exactly here
I
because
know it always is like
but
this.
yeah,
It's
but it's
hard
fun to
to
see
while you're
see
doing it.
people that we know on there.
Yeah.
I hope we get to do this more with you guys. I kind of like this format of late night live. It's a little bit
You get a little burst of
lazy and like,
energy.
well, I'm talking about getting a little lazy and tired, and you're talking about like going crazy. But okay,
All
guys,
right. Ciao, ciao.
ciao.
Mm.